So this video will totally not be controversial at all because today we're going to be ranking my favorite top 10 Star Wars characters. I usually give a long intro before all these videos, so I'm just going to try to keep it short. Here we go. Number 1, massive spoilers ahead. You guys know that. Cool. Number 2, this is personal and subjective, so your guys' list is going to be completely different based on what you guys see. Number 3, my basic criteria, it's basically going to come down to the character, the performance, and visuals. As in, do they look cool holding a lightsaber or something like that? So yeah, that was pretty easy, right? All right, let's get into the video. I'm going to start it off with a couple honorable mentions because these characters are really cool, but they're just kind of there. So 2 honorable mentions. Number 1, General Grievous, because, you know, memes and everything like that. And number 2, Boba Fett, because he's cool. And I love the Slave One ship because it looks so cool. But, yeah, I don't know what else he is other than a whiny kid in the Clone Wars. So, yeah, there's that. All right, coming in at number 10 is LEIA Organa. I think Carrie Fisher's performance as the princess only got better with time. I know her time in the sequel trilogy got cut short tragically, but I do think that her performance there was extremely well done and nuanced in places where it should have been. I think her relationship with Han throughout the original and the sequel trilogy was really well done as well. And I just think this character had a lot to give to the Star Wars universe. Oh, I guess before we get too far into it though, I should mention that I am taking a lot of things from all corners of canon, except for the books, because I haven't really delved into the books or the comics that much, but Rebels, Clone Wars, Mandalorian, everything is going to be taken into account. So, yeah. Anyways, Princess Leia, she's a really strong character. In the original trilogy, she was able to hold her own in 1977 in a film that came out almost 50 years ago. That's incredible to me. And I think her journey, while yes, a little bit odd at the end because of the tragic circumstances, was still well done. And, you know, everyone loved Carrie Fisher as this character. So, number 10. Coming in at number 9 is her counterpart, Han Solo. Okay, so I didn't love Solo, but I still like this character a lot. I think at least Ehrenreich's performance in Solo: A Star Wars Story was pretty good. About as good as it could have been. And of course, we love Harrison Ford in the original trilogy, and I really, really liked him in The Force Awakens. I actually thought Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens was one of the highlights of that film. It was really, really nice to see him just come back and commit to a role, unlike some other films that he's done. And yeah, I know he hates Star Wars and all that, and he goes on talk shows and says, I wish I could have gotten my character killed like 40 years ago, but you know what? He gave it his best shot, and I think it worked out. I think one of the saving graces of the sequel trilogy was Ben Solo and his relationship to both Han and Leia, and I think especially to Han in The Force Awakens. I do like that scene on the bridge very much where they're talking as father and son, and yeah, in The Rise of Skywalker, I actually do like the callback scene. It doesn't really make sense. He's not a Force ghost. Is he just like a memory or something? But I do like the scene and what it represents at the very least. So, number 9, Han Solo. Coming in at number 8 is Emperor SHEEV Palpatine. Ian McDiarmid's performance as this character is unbelievable. He is such a great presence in the Star Wars universe, and, well, The Rise of Skywalker did happen, and it made no sense, and I wish I could just wipe that from my memory, just the fact that he was there for literally no reason. But aside from that, he was a huge presence in the original trilogy as well as the prequel trilogy, and he was great in the prequel trilogy, I thought. I thought Ian McDiarmid's Emperor Palpatine was one of the best parts of episodes 1, 2, and 3. He's menacing and scary. I mean, look at this. He's just downright horrifying to look at, but he's also cunning and manipulative. You can see that in the prequel trilogy when he's trying to turn Anakin Skywalker to the dark side. He really has this charming edge to him. Like, if you think about how could one person control both sides of a galactic war, but then you watch the Clone Wars and you watch episodes 1, 2, and 3, you realize this guy, he can do it. And he did do it, and I believed in that. I bought into that. Emperor Palpatine is such a great character in the Star Wars lore. It's just, he's kind of one-dimensional in a certain sense, like he's the big bad, you know, whatever. So he's going at number 8. Coming in at number 7, and saved by the Clone Wars, by the way, is Darth Maul. So if the Clone Wars didn't happen, and if the Clone Wars and Rebels didn't revive this character, he would probably not be on the list. Like, he'd be in the honorable mentions with General Grievous and Boba Fett as just looking cool. But the Clone Wars, it really did so much for this character. Like, this character is much more complex than the guy we saw in episode 1. He has layers to him. And that's what I love about what the Clone Wars did with this character, is that it added so many subtle, nuanced, complex layers to an otherwise one-dimensional, cool-looking, admittedly, but flat character. He really has gotten so much development with his just burning desire, his rage against Obi-Wan Kenobi for cutting him in half on Naboo, and look where that took him, all the way back to Tatooine to face Obi-Wan Kenobi. What a great, great character development, and I guess one of the best uses of a retcon ever. Coming in at number 6 is Kylo Ren. I think he was probably one of the best things to come out of the sequel trilogy, if not one of the only good things to come out of the sequel trilogy. Because through all 3 films, he had a consistent arc, I think. I mean, at the end, it was kind of like, okay, you shouldn't have kissed Rey, and redeeming, okay. But essentially, through all 3 films, it seemed like both J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson were committed at least to giving this character a lot more development than the other ones. Because honestly, Rey, Finn, and Poe, I just don't really want to see that much more of them. But Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, I would be so down to see a prequel series or something that explained his backstory. Just, something short maybe, not like 6 seasons of it. But anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent. Ben Solo, Kylo Ren is a really nuanced character. And even if he wasn't, the way that Adam Driver portrays him is really spectacularly done. I think, again, like I said before, he is one of the only things to come out of the sequel trilogy relatively intact. I kind of equate him to Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequel trilogy. Like, we all watched those 3 films, and I was like, I don't like any of them, really. I mean, I kind of like Revenge of the Sith, but we can all say, or at least most of the people can say, yeah, I liked Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor was pretty good. And I think in a long time, when the sequel trilogy is in the rearview mirror, we're all going to go, well, that wasn't that great, but hey, Adam Driver's Ben Solo, pretty good. Coming in at number 5, and this is a true testament to how well Dave Filoni did with the Clone Wars, is AHSOKA Tano. If you watch season 1, you would never think to put her on anything like this. Like any list that remotely has good Star Wars characters. If you just watch the movie, the Clone Wars movie, and season 1, she would be on the worst characters list, honestly. But it's just a true testament to how far Dave Filoni took this character arc. And look at it now, right? Like, she's appearing in everything. Just the fact that she was in the Clone Wars and Rebels, and by the way, I'm recording this before Mandalorian Season 2 even comes out, so I don't know if she's in it yet, it's not confirmed, but if she is, look, she's in the Mandalorian Season 2. And what I think she does best is give so many extra layers to Anakin Skywalker as a character. Because now in addition to Padme, in addition to Obi-Wan, Palpatine, he has something extra to hold on to, and they had 7 seasons, but, like kind of 6 and 7 were pretty short, so maybe 6-ish full seasons to develop those 2 characters' relationships. And it did marvels. When Darth Vader gets into the snow and he just picks up that lightsaber, it is beautiful, it is haunting. And then in Rebels, when he fights Ahsoka again, that is one of the best scenes in Star Wars ever. Ever. Coming in at number 4 is Luke Skywalker. And yes, I am including The Last Jedi because, yep, I am one of those people who really does enjoy his character arc in The Last Jedi. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but it's just my opinion. So you guys can have different opinions in the comments down below. Anyways, I think Luke Skywalker is the quintessential hero character. He does struggle with the dark side, sure, in Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sith, and in Last Jedi even, he kind of goes off on a different path. But he is the hero, right? At least in the original trilogy. You know that he is the good guy, and the good guys are going to win, and he does. He's just a character to root for. Mark Hamill in the original trilogy, admittedly, at the beginning it wasn't so great, like, Tashi stations and power converters, but as we got on into the original trilogy with Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, he just got better and better. And yeah, I think that even if you don't like his character in The Last Jedi, I think his performance as Luke Skywalker, he gave it everything he had. He took Rian Johnson's script and did the best he could, the absolute best he could, and I commend Mark Hamill for that tremendously. Coming in at number 3 is Yoda. I love Yoda. We all love Yoda. Frank Oz as Yoda is amazing. And yeah, again, we're going back to The Last Jedi because I think the Yoda scene with Luke Skywalker is beautiful, it's gorgeous, and he's funny. I mean, one of the things that the prequel trilogy did so wrong was just wipe all the humor out of Yoda. He is so boring and so flat. But if you go to The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi, he is so funny and charismatic, and you just love this character, even in the Clone Wars. I think the Clone Wars did a good job of merging those 2 versions of him, like the really serious one and the kind of humorous one. I think he's sort of in the middle in that show, which is good. It's a good thing. But yeah, I think Yoda, he is so powerful, but he's so calm. He's small. And I even think his action scenes in the prequel trilogy, they're okay. They're very CGI, but they're okay. So yeah. Coming in at number 2 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. No matter which version of Obi-Wan you look at, he's great. Ewan McGregor, Alec Guinness, the animated series, James Arnold Taylor, amazing. And what I love about the Clone Wars is that they were able to give him, Obi-Wan Kenobi, some more humanity. It's very clear that George Lucas wanted the original 6 films, the prequels and the original trilogy, to be about Anakin Skywalker. And so the supporting characters were more in line with who Anakin Skywalker was. They weren't really characters in themselves. So as a result, I think Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan is more of a supporting role to Anakin. Like, you don't really get to see much of Obi-Wan. And that's why I'm really glad they were able to give him extra angles in the Clone Wars, like with Duchess Satine, especially on Mandalore. That was really well done. And I'm super glad we're going to get another series with him, eventually, hopefully. But of course, my favorite character, and like I said in another video, link in the description down below, he was saved by the Clone Wars, is Anakin Skywalker. Even without the Clone Wars, and even with Darth Vader, he would probably be in the lower half, right? Like maybe 5 through 10. But with the Clone Wars, he becomes my favorite character in Star Wars. And when I think about Anakin Skywalker, I do think about the Clone Wars version of him. And then, of course, there's Darth Vader. And even though I don't like Hayden Christensen's performance, and if you do, totally fine. But even me, who doesn't like the performance, knows that the arc that George Lucas was going for in the prequel trilogy is so tragic and so beautiful, in concept at least, that it makes you really care about Anakin Skywalker, and it gives humanity to Darth Vader. Because Darth Vader is not just, the big evil guy, kind of like the Emperor is, but Anakin Skywalker is hidden somewhere under there. And Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Padme, they all give him extra layers that make him the character that he is. So, by the way, if you guys want to hear some more thoughts about why I think Anakin Skywalker is such a great character, then shameless plug, please watch the video about Clone Wars and Anakin Skywalker. I'll put it, again, in the description down below. Anyways, yeah. That is my list of my top 10 favorite Star Wars characters. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and feel free to write your own top 10s in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed already, then please make sure to do so and hit the like button to support the channel. And if you want to check out some more videos, check out the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.